Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy. I asked a little bit about LSU's defense, specifically Javien Toviano, who hasn't played a heck of a lot to this point for LSU. Obviously, we understand he was in a legal situation back over the summer. He was eased into fall camp. We would go out there and he would kind of not be participating on defense and some on special teams. And he's played a little bit to this point, but not a significant amount. Looking up his statistics right now. And Toviano, let's see where I can find Javien Toviano. I'm assuming it's down here pretty low. I don't see any statistics at all from Javien Toviano on a defensive perspective, which is a little surprising considering that he was a four-star recruit. It's his second year on campus, and that's a guy you figure they'd be leaning on a little bit, and they have not to this point. So Kelly had a couple things to say about Toviano, and one was about him potentially moving to the star spot on defense.
We really like Javien Toviano. It's just finding the role for him. We've bounced him around, as you know, quite a bit. And I think what really needs to happen for us, and we've had this discussion, matter of fact, this week about him, is that we need to settle him into a particular position, and that's it, right? I mean, we can't keep moving him around. He does a lot of things really well for us. We just now have to accent those and say, listen, these are the things that he's really good at. Let's just kind of build off of that. He's going to play the star position, and we expect him to stay there the rest of the year.
That works out fine to me. I mean, we've seen situations over the years where the LSU just struggled to find a place to put a guy. And I know that Russell Shepard was obviously a very famous example of that. You're going to look right at Harold Perkins and go, they hadn't quite figured that out either. And why do they keep moving all these guys around? And versatility is a good thing to have, but it's better if you're just really good at one thing. I mean, it's great that LSU had the ability to take Tyrann Mathieu and pull him back from corner and let him play safety one game, and he was fantastic in that role, but he's a superstar player. More often than not, you're looking at these versatile guys, and they're not really giving you a lot at one specific spot. You're just kind of moving them around, and that's counterproductive to an extent. So for Javien Toviano to find a spot and not go play the boundary corner at one point and then go inside and play the nickel and then go back and play deep safety. Okay, now we need you to play up at the star, but now somebody's hurt, so let's go out there and play corner. Like, that's, at a certain extent, it's counterproductive to do that. And Toviano is a pretty talented guy. He's not the fastest guy, but he's got a good frame. He tackles pretty well, and he needs to find a spot. And it feels like now they finally found that, and they're going to work him at that star position. Juwan Johnson was backing up Major Burns at the star spot all of camp. And, of course, Juwan Johnson played mostly offense. He set the Louisiana record for all-purpose yards and for touchdowns, and he was a quarterback and to do everything in high school. And they're going, all right, we're going to move you to defense. You're going to play the star. Well, all of a sudden, you got injuries, and John Emery goes down, and you go, okay, well, we got to move him to running back. So now we don't really have a backup star, and you got to have Major Burns out there. Well, now they've got potentially a backup star, potentially a starting star, depending on what they want to do with Major Burns on defense, either at star or safety. And Kelly talked about what Toviano at star would bring to the defense.
And it allows us now some flexibility where, you know, we can move Major Burns back to safety if we need some help back at the safety position, because we really believe he's really good, Toviano, closer to the ball in the line of scrimmage because he's such a short tackler and he's assignment correct.
So they're trying to get him closer to the ball. Major Burns moving back, I know, is going to make some people a little uncomfortable. I understand that. They just have a revolving door at safety that's got to get figured out. I wrote about that at LouisianaSports.net earlier this week. I talked about it on this show. Like, you got to stop playing 7 safeties. You got to find 2 or 3 that give you an opportunity. And if Major Burns is one of those, we'll see. I kind of like Sage Ryan back there, quite frankly. I think he should be playing safety instead of outside corner, instead of nickel. I think he's a safety. He hadn't played a lot of that. And then as far as the rest of the guys go, it's been a mixed bag. Like Jordan Gilbert, Jordan Allen, Deshaun Spears, Kylan Jackson, Burns. Like they've played a lot of dudes back there, and they haven't necessarily figured out what works. And none of it's worked great to this point. And Brian Kelly talked about it right out of the chute, said we need better production at safety. He talked about it on Saturday night after the game, saying, hey, we've shuffled a lot of guys through in there. We're not going to do that anymore. We're going to figure it out. And I guess, that was after Tuesday's practice, and he mentioned Tuesday's practice back on Saturday about trying to get this done. And I'm guessing they're trying to make some progress there, and it involves Toviano at the star and maybe moving Burns back. Again, we haven't seen a lot of Toviano. Maybe he is a difference maker on defense. I'm hopeful. I don't know that, and I don't know why things have gone slowly for him on the defensive side. They basically tried everybody else on defense in the secondary. Why not give a former 4-star recruit in his second year that opportunity? But maybe we find something out in the game against Ole Miss. That's, I guess, theoretically what the bye week is for, huh? So Javien Toviano going to the star. Major Burns maybe moving back a little bit. We'll see how LSU plays that in the secondary moving forward. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.